Hey guys, today I want to give you an update on my super simple salad box. This is one of my favorite things I'm doing this year because it is so simple and I'm pretty sure you can do it too. So let's check what's underneath the mesh, shall we? All right, y'all, this is my super simple salad box. I call it my SSSB on Instagram. Everybody's like, what are you talking about? This bed is a 4x4 by 1 foot tall bed. I have a whole ebook that teaches you how to make this bed. These are the kind of beds I made for my clients when I first started Rooted Garden. Anybody can do this. You don't need to have a lot of tools. So I planted this up. It is literally 4 weeks and 2 days to the day. Okay, so I planted it on a Sunday. Today's a Tuesday and it's been 4 weeks. So 4 times 7, 20, we're at 30 days. So 30 days post-planting. I planted this from seed and there were a ton of weeds in this bed when I cleaned it out. So I cleaned it out, I added some compost and sand, and I did cover these beds mostly because there are rabbits back here, there's squirrels, and my dogs come back here. And this bed is just the right height for my dogs to hop into. So I haven't had any pest problems, at least with the critters that like to jump. And I cannot wait to show you how good this has grown. So let me go over to the other side. I gotta take a few more pins off before the big reveal. And I'm gonna cut lettuce from this for the first time. And I'm gonna eat it today. So are you ready? Count with me, 1, 2, 3. Ta-da! Is that so gorgeous or what, my friends? So this is from 2 packages of seed, which I would say probably each package of seed costs about, I don't know, $3 max. And you can get so much more out of this box than you could get for, I don't know, what's a box of spring mix at the grocery store? I think they're like $5, $6 if they're organic. So I would guess that from this garden, I could probably get at least 10 of those boxes worth of lettuce. That's my guess. So this lettuce is really new, very fresh, so I'm not gonna heavily harvest from it. I'm just gonna show you how I harvest to kind of make space in this garden and have it continue to grow. So I've just got these little needle nose pruners is what I call them. Probably having scissors would even be better. But I'm just going to randomly kind of go in and I'm gonna cut. I'm not cutting too deep. I definitely should have scissors for this job. So I'm gonna not cut too deep because I want the new lettuces to grow back. But I'm just going to kind of trim. And what I do is I do a little row and I just cut a little bit and then I skip a space. So what happens when I do this is it makes space for the next set of leaves to come in, but it doesn't open up so much space. I call them bald spots. It doesn't open up so much space that the soil is showing. So when the soil is showing, you end up with the chance of weeds, and you also end up with the chance of needing, not the chance, but you'll need to water more often. So my goal is to have the least soil exposed as possible. So see, I'm almost making like a little quilt here. So I skip, this is where I harvested, so I'll skip that space on this next row and cut the next set. Now you could come in and do this in a row the way when I first started salad gardening. I would do this pretty much every day and through the week basically work my way back through the garden and then start again the next week. And you can do this as long as, you know, the weather doesn't get too hot and the leaves keep growing. You can do this for weeks on end. When I was gardening in Houston, this is literally the thing that made me start my company and start teaching people how to garden. Because I'd be growing lettuce like this and I'm like, why are people buying grocery store lettuce? It tastes so bad. It's been on a truck for like 5 days. It sat in the grocery store shelf for, I don't know, a week, and then it tastes horrible. And I was like, why are more people not doing this? So I was asking my neighbors and friends. Okay, I'm gonna stop leaning like that. I'll start on the next row. So I would ask my friends and neighbors, like, are y'all growing lettuce? And they're like, what are you talking about? You can't garden in Houston. I'm like, oh my goodness, let me bring you some of my lettuce and show you how delicious it is. So, so here we are, 6-7 years after my first successes, and I'm still talking about lettuce. I'm like so obsessed. So I hope you'll give this a try. Literally, this is planted with seed directly into a soil mix that's mostly sand, compost, and some topsoil. And it's just so much better than grocery store lettuce, and you can cut from it again and again and again. So do you see how I've cut? And basically, after I've harvested, I kind of give them a little shake, and you can hardly even tell where I cut, but it does open up these plants a little bit and lets the next set of plants grow in. But I almost cut it like a little quilt. Just skip a spot, you know, do a spot, skip a spot, and then do the next one. And you can literally cut from this. You could come out and cut from this every single day for at least 30 to 45 days. And my friends, that is a super simple salad box. So I think it's time for me to go eat some lunch. What do you guys think? Doesn't this look awesome? So this probably, I don't know if this is quite as big as a $6 plastic bin of lettuce at the store. Maybe this is half at least, but look how much is left, and I can cut from these plants again and again. So I hope I've convinced you to start a salad garden. If I haven't, I give up. No, just kidding. I'll never give up. I'll never give up. I'll keep talking about lettuce forever. All right, so I hope my harvest has encouraged you to start growing your own lettuce too. You can get all the resources you need down below this video. I have an entire online course called Salad Garden School. You'll get the link to that, the ebook, and the book about how to build this easy raised bed too. Thanks so much for bringing back the kitchen garden and the salad garden with me. I love you for it. Now I'm gonna go inside and have myself some salad. See you later. Bye.